Right, so chances are you're watching this video because the title or the thumbnail, resonated with you in some kind, right? Because, maybe you have, tried losing weight and ended up looking skinnier and still have some stubborn fat on you. And then you've actually tried gaining weight and end up actually looking the opposite way you actually want to look, right? So it's a case of like, you're just stuck there on one extreme to the other, and you just got no idea what to do. Right, now I understand, right? I was in a similar situation myself when I started my fitness journey. So, in this video right now, I'm gonna cover, 3 simple reasons as to why, you may still be skinny fat right now, which is also, partially what I struggled with myself, right, a few years back. So, by, tackling these 3 problems, right, we can overcome the solution to each of these problems, so you can actually fix skinny fat and overall just create the best body transformation for yourself that you desire within your health and fitness, right? So the first step, right, the first reason why you may actually be skinny fat is because your calories and your protein intake is just kind of out of place. Most people, right, who are in a state of being skinny fat, right, however you want to call the term, are usually under eating calories and protein, right? They're under eating on the amount of calories they eat in a day and how much protein they're consuming in a day, right? Because at the end of the day, if they were overeating, right, the amount of calories they eat in a day, then they wouldn't be skinny fat. They would be more in a state of being, overweight, to be brutally honest, right? And that's where, of course, where, most people who are skinny fat actually need to eat more than they actually feel they need to eat, rather than eating less to lose weight, right? It's actually still a lot of people are just there like, there's no way I can eat any more food, right? There's no way I can eat any more calories because, like, surely I'd just gain fat, right? I'd gain more weight, right? But really, at the end of the day, that's not necessarily the case. It depends how you approach it, right? Because at the end of the day, we know the only way we're going to gain fat is by being in a caloric surplus, by eating more calories than we burn, right? Whereas in order to actually fix skinny fat, you don't actually need to be in a calorie surplus to actually do so. So yes, it's like you can eat more food than you were usually eating before, right? But if you're not actually in a surplus, you're not actually gain any fat, right? I've had many clients who are previously eating like 1,000 calories to 1,500 calories a day, right? And then because they're in that state of skinny fat, I've amped them all the way up to like 2,500, right? Something like that, and they've actually been able to build muscle and just overall look way better because, again, we're able to allow them to build muscle, which is what they really needed, without gaining any fat, right? And as I said, besides calories, also regarding protein, right? Because most people who are in a skinny fat situation, as I said, are under eating on protein, and usually it's the quality of the food they're eating, right? Most people who are in a state of skinny fat, usually, their food intake's kind of a bit over the place. Sometimes they eat healthy, but the most time they'll just, go for the quick solutions, like, the more processed, unhealthy foods, I guess you could say, where obviously are higher in carbs and fats, right, but not so high in protein. So obviously the carbs and fats is what leads to more fat around the belly or love handle area or whatever, without any muscle around their frame, because they're not actually eating any protein to support any form of muscle growth. You see what I'm saying? Now, it sounds hard at first, right, to actually be eating enough protein, but really if you just fix your eating habits by going for good quality nutritious whole foods and good quality protein sources, right, at the end of the day, you're probably, like, everyone's different depending on their body weight and their goals and such, but most people only really need like 2 to 4 good quality portions of protein a day to actually hit their protein goal, right? And if you think about that, that's literally like the equivalent of just having 1 protein source for breakfast, 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner, and most people are going to be sorted that way, right? Like I said, it's like, you can look for lean source of protein like chicken, turkey, ham, fish, protein in general, right? Like I said, fish, tuna, which is fish, beef, eggs, a good, distribution of lean protein sources, and also protein sources that are higher in fats, as they do have benefits with hormone production and testosterone production, right? And so as a whole, like if you're still struggling to hit, your goal of 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, of course, you can supplement with like a scoop of whey protein powder a day. Again, it's like once you've just got principles down in place of like how to eat properly, right, and healthily, then, getting your calories and your protein needs for your goals is going to become easy and second nature, right? Follow me so far? Now, second reason as to why you may be skinny fat is because, your strength training program is just out of place right now. Usually in this like skinny fat category, I guess you could tell, or call it, right, is obviously there's usually 3 types of people that, how they approach strength training. One group who don't really strength train at all in order to fix skinny fat, they'll just do a ton of cardio or something. Or the second group, similarly, they'll do some form of strength training, but they'll limit how hard they push themselves in terms of intensity, because they're afraid that if they push themselves too hard, they'll get bulky in some capacity, right? Now, let's be honest, right? Let's be clear here, right? If we're in a situation of skinny fat, right? Fat, like the amount of fat we may have on our body may be a problem, but in most cases, it's not really the actual problem. The problem is that we don't actually have enough muscle in our frame to make the fat look less visible and actually look good at the body fat percentage we desire, right? Because at the end of the day, we could be very lean, but if we got no muscle, right, we're gonna end up not only just looking skinnier, but any fat we have around our body is gonna look more noticeable because we don't have any muscle around our frame, right? You see what I mean? And if you stay natural, you don't take steroids, right, or anything that kind, right, you're not gonna get bulky, right? Trust me, you're not gonna get bulky. You need muscle to actually look good, right? Now, I spoke about two groups, right? The third is, let's say younger people like myself, when I started at like 16 to 17 years old, right? I still can't remember. I think it was 16. I think it was 16, right? So, with that said, I was on the complete other end, right? I was training like a madman, right? I was training like 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, right? And at first, of course, I did see like some kind of newbie gains, right, when I first started out. But ultimately, it got to the point where I just hit a wall and I was actually declining in progress, because like the amount of work I was actually doing on a weekly basis was just far greater than my ability to actually recover from each workout. And at the end of the day, right, yes, we need to work hard in order to get results, but there's no point working hard on the wrong things if you're not actually getting anywhere, right? So instead of almost battering and murdering yourself, right, with just trying to do as much as you physically can in the day, right, you gotta realize that your body grows during rest, right? The workouts are used to stimulate your muscles, and during rest is when they actually grow bigger and stronger. You see what I'm saying? So try something like, if you're starting out with something like a full body routine 3 times a week, or, upper lower twice a week each in the week. So that's 4 workouts a week in total, right? Instead of trying to blast your muscles to like, the end of their lifetime, right? Their lifespan, right? Try, not doing too much volume, but not too little volume. Moderate volume, right? Moderate amount, not too much, not too little, right? And just focus on getting stronger through progressive overload, right? Because that's how your muscles grow at the end of the day. It's how they get stronger and bigger, through progressive overload, right? So with that said, you want to focus on the exercise selection, right? And you want to focus on, progressive overload. The main ones would be obviously adding reps as you progress on a workout basis or week to week, right? For any weighted exercises, you want to focus on adding weight, right, gradually. Or obviously calisthenics, bodyweight training is what this channel is all about. Obviously that's where, instead of adding weight with bodyweight exercise, you can obviously add weight to bodyweight exercise if you want, but you can also progress to a harder progression of a bodyweight exercise in order to increase the intensity and the stimulus placed on the muscles, so again, they grow bigger and stronger over time. Because as I said, not only are you going to be able to build more muscle that way, so you actually look the way you want to look, right, but you're also going to be able to, fix your body composition, right, which actually leads to number 3 of why you may be skinny fat, is because your metabolism is out of place with what you're doing right now, right? So as an example, if let's say you're a middle-aged individual who's, a pretty inactive over the last few years, maybe you spend hours a day sitting at a desk with a desk job or something, right? Obviously that's where you may have the problem of having a slower metabolism, where you burn far fewer calories in a day, right? Whereas if you're someone on the other end, right, who's let's say a teenager or early 20s, right, and such, and you're very active, right, you have an active lifestyle, and your metabolism is very high, right? Obviously it's like, if you look at both, ends of the spectrum, obviously I can't just give one plain advice, because what will work for one group may not necessarily work for the other group, right? So starting with the first group I said, right, if you're a middle-aged individual, let's say, whether it's whatever, right? You get to the point where your metabolism slows down, right? That's what I'm saying, right? Number one way you're going to be able to amp up your metabolism is strength training, right? Strength training is how you're going to be able to amp up your metabolism and maximize your ability to build muscle and lose fat, right? Simple as that, right? And honestly, if your metabolism is low, very low, right, you need to amp it up in order to actually effectively build muscle, lose fat, right, and get stronger. And honestly, that's why I would suggest, actually doing cardio a couple times a week, right, in a way that, doesn't actually like exhaust yourself to the point where you'd actually impact your recovery for strength workouts, but just get your body moving, right? Get your body moving through some light cardio activity, or, just in general on your day-to-day basis, be more active, stand more, walk more, right? Look for ways where, again, you can just be more active, increase the amount of calories you burn a day, so ultimately you can amp your metabolism up, fix your low metabolism, so ultimately you can create the best environment for yourself to build muscle and lose fat, right? Now, on the other hand, if you have a very high metabolism, right, most people who have a very high metabolism at a younger age usually struggle with actually eating enough calories. If you're doing strength training, which you should still be doing, strength training should still be the #1 priority, right? If you're doing a ton of cardio throughout the week, right, and your calorie expenditure is all the way up here, it's gonna be very hard to eat the sufficient calories you need to meet your goals, right? So that's where it's like, you don't want to completely cut out cardio, but just be careful to not go overboard with it, right? Because if you are burning fewer calories in the week, then obviously it's gonna be easier to match your calorie needs with that energy balance, right? Calories in versus calories out, to actually, you know, be able to eat enough, right, to actually build muscle and of course, you know, fix your body composition as a whole. That's what I mean, right? With skinny fat, we've got to understand that it's a longer process, it's more complex, right? Because obviously someone who, let's say, is on one end and just wants to gain weight, or someone on the other end who just wants to lose weight, it's very simple, right? It's very, very simple, right? But like I said, on the skinny fat situation where you want to somewhat build muscle and lose fat simultaneously, we need a different approach. We need a more complex approach, but at the end of the day, if you actually understand the principles, regardless of if it may be more complex or not, you know, application and actually applying what I've mentioned in this video, it's going to be much easier to implement if you actually understand how to fix skinny fat as a whole, right? See what I mean? So like I said, if you would still like support with, you know, fixing skinny fat for good, right, through, let's say, at-home workouts with bodyweight and calisthenics based training, again, in the comfort of your own home. Of course, I do actually have free at-home programs that, you know, are tailored towards, you know, getting stronger with calisthenics, building muscle and losing fat, which again, you can check out our link in the first link description below. I've got a free beginner, you know, program and a free intermediate program that you can follow, which again, I'll link below for you to download, whichever one, you know, best suits your needs right now. So like I said, if you enjoyed this video, you like my content, enjoyed watching every single minute and every single second of this video, make sure to give this video a cheeky thumbs up and comment down below. What I would love to know is, you know, what are you gonna do? Give me one action step you're going to take after following this video, right? After watching this video, I don't want you to just, you know, watch it and just turn it off and do nothing, or just, you know, watch another gazillion, you know, load of videos and just procrastinate more. Give me one action step you're going to take right now after watching this video, because action is how you're going to get the results you want. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you should definitely consider hitting subscribe right below me right now. Hit that subscribe button right now. If you haven't subscribed yet, my friend, hit it right now, right? I'm not gonna let you down. You're not gonna be disappointed, right? It's gonna be the best decision you've made this year, or this month, or today, right? Who knows, right? But if you feel that this video would value a friend, friends, family members, whoever, right? You can share this with them, of course. And yeah, again, that was enough for me today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Keep moving forward, stay strong, stay healthy, and keep making those damn gains, my friend.